We have talked before about the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act requiring debt collectors to leave you the so-called Mini Miranda. And that basically is a warning or a disclosure that you are dealing with the debt collector and that they are attempting to collect a debt. And about half of debt collectors who leave voicemail messages do not leave that warning. And so there are a lot of lawsuits filed against them. And recently I was reading an article by a defense lawyer, or maybe it was an owner of a collection agency, and he was saying, this is terrible. We're getting sued because we don't leave that warning. And he was just wringing his hands, just, what in the world to do? And I'm thinking, I may not be the smartest guy in the world, but I don't know, maybe leave the warning? And they go, oh, well, see, we don't want to leave the warning because what if we're calling the wrong person? And they've raised this argument to courts before. I've dealt with this argument in federal court, and the very simple answer is that the judges have said is, look, if you don't know that you're leaving it at the right place or where others won't be able to hear it, don't leave a message. You don't have a God-given right to leave a message. Call them, don't leave a message, send a letter, credit report, sue, but you do not have to leave a message. And so when we sue these debt collectors, people are typically surprised at how quickly these debt collectors will normally come in and try and resolve the case. And they'll pay money. And the reason is because they make so much more money by violating the law than they do by the very rare time that they get sued for not leaving the Mini Miranda. So they may call 100 people in Alabama and not leave the message. And maybe one, maybe two people file suit, maybe not even that many. And so, trust me, they do not fail to leave the Mini Miranda because they forget to. It's a deliberate, conscious choice, and they've run the numbers and they said, you know what, we make more money by leaving these kind of vague, mysterious messages. They say, this is Mr. Smith, it's a very important business call, I'll expect your call back immediately. And so you get that message, you're like, what in the world is this? Well, I don't know, I'll call. But if you said, this is Mr. Smith, I'm a debt collector, this is an attempt to collect a debt, now I don't think you should do this, but you might say, I'm not going to call him back. And that's why they leave the message that they do. About half of voicemails are illegal voicemails just based on that Mini Miranda, the failure to leave it. So if you're wondering, why do these guys complain in the newspapers and on websites and blogs about how terrible this is, but then they settle the cases? Really a couple things. They absolutely know it is illegal. And they know, since it's absolutely illegal, they will lose that case most likely. And if they lose the case, and here's the real kicker, they know they're going to have to pay attorney's fees. And that is very expensive to them and very disturbing to them. So they would rather come in when they very rarely get sued, given all the thousands and thousands of calls that they make when a collection agency says, oh, I've been sued twice this month. Well, you violated the law 200 times, so pretty good odds for you. But if you're wondering why they do this, it's all about the money. And so nothing wrong with debt collection, nothing wrong with being a debt collector, but if you break the law, don't complain that there's a price to be paid for it. I hope this has been helpful to you. My name is John Watts. If you live in Alabama and are dealing with debt collectors, whether it's leaving the Mini Miranda message or some other aspect of debt collection, and if you have a question, feel free to pick up the phone and call me, 205-879-2447, or you can contact us through one of our websites. Thank you.